Yes, 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 Lord. Thank you. This is it.
And I always wanna feel like this. But tonight I won't let that Gonna make myself forget about you, baby. Gonna make my head forget your name. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna dance the pain away.
Isn't that a colorful way to start our gathering this afternoon? A compilation of heartwarming commercials that celebrate diversity, equity, inclusion, and LGBTQIA plus identity. Sa ating mga friends from the media, magandang hapon, mabuhay, and happy Pride, everyone. Well, traditionally, Pride is celebrated every month of June, but I know everyone here also believes that Pride should be celebrated every day of the year. Kaya naman, even if it's the first day of July, we are still celebrating all colors of pride. And I am Mela Habizan, Miss Trans Global 2020. Proud to be me, proud Trans Pinay, and proud to be your host this afternoon. Pride Month is celebrated every June, as mentioned a while ago, to commemorate years of struggle for civil rights of the LGBTQIA plus community. It also aims to further the ongoing pursuit of equal justice that the community and uh, that the community wants, and for us to recognize the accomplishments of LGBTQIA plus individuals. As such, I would like to welcome you all to our hashtag Proud to Be Me media event this afternoon, brought to us by our friends from Global Snacks Company, Mondelez International. For those who may not be familiar with the name, well, I am sure you are familiar with its delicious snack products. These are the products we have all grown up with and loved during our childhood. Well, some of you might recognize Tang, Eden, Cheese Whiz, Oreo, Toblerone, Cadbury, Tiger, Chips Ahoy, and a whole host of other yummy products. Now, I know you may be thinking, what does a snacks company have to do with pride? From the discussions we have had, it has to do with their purpose as a company, which is to empower people to snack right, with the right snack, for the right moment, and made the right way. So, to find out what this right way means, let's call on our first speaker. She is the people lead of Mondelez International here in the Philippines, our dear friend, Eileen Aumentado. Magandang hapon,
Hello.
Eileen. How are you
Hi.
today?
Hi, Mela. Good afternoon. It's so nice to see you again.
It's so
Happy
nice to
Pride.
see you again too, and happy Pride. And look at how stunning you are this afternoon.
Of course, aren't we supposed to be all stunning? And
Of
I'm sure.
course, as we should. Go ahead and greet all the media members out there.
Okay, hello, hi, and good afternoon. I would like to greet all of you. Happy Pride. As you said, no, it's not just only in June, but every day is really a Pride Day for us. So thank you so much on behalf of Mondelez for joining us in our event. And hopefully, the following years we can do this on a more in-person session. But for today, I'm sure even if we're doing it virtually, we'll have a very meaningful conversation around diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI.
That's amazing, Leng. And thank you so much for spearheading this kind of event. And I feel that it's very important for us to know that D and I and Pride must be celebrated all year round. Now, I'm curious, what is snacking made right? And how does it connect to Pride and DEI?
Okay, snacking made right. That's it. Does it connect to pride and to DEI? Definitely, because in Mondelez, we are hashtag, proud to be me. As you know, we are just not a maker of snacks. We are makers of snacks by doing it with sustainable ingredients, and more importantly, we take care of the makers and bakers, or the people who make our snacks, the snacks that we enjoy since we were kids, and even with our friends and family. So we want to ensure that we promote an open, diverse, and inclusive workplace, because we know that diversity is a strength. And that helps drive innovation and growth. And as a company, striving to be a champion of diversity, equity, and inclusion for our colleagues, our culture, and our communities. So we choose to believe that we are stronger through our diverse, inclusive, and connected community, and to act by doing what is right. What does it mean? It means that we treat everyone with integrity and fairness, and more importantly, a culture that creates a true sense of belonging.
Thank you for stressing out treating people right. I think it is humanity that drives us to have this kind of virtue and value of people, because treating people right will always mean great livelihood. It's fostering talents at the same time and letting them become their best selves. So maraming salamat, Mondelez International, most especially here in the Philippines, for stressing that out. Now, in the past year, of course, last year was a great moment for Mondelez, most especially that it has become a member of PFIP. Now, with your actions in terms of BNI, how has it become meaningful for all of you?
Oh, okay, nice. It has been a year since we become part of PFIP, and there's so much, that we have learned as an organization through PFIP and its member organizations on how can we become leading edge as an organization to be able to live diversity, equity, and inclusion. So in our organization, as what I have said, there are three focus areas for us. The first one is our colleagues. The second one is culture, and the other one is our communities. So maybe we can start first talking about our colleagues. How do we champion our colleagues? As you said a while ago, Mela, it's nice to be in an organization where people feel that they are respected, and they can be their true selves, their best selves at work. So in the Philippines, in Mondelez, how we are doing it, firstly, for our colleagues, at the start of the employment, we ensure that we have a balance of candidate slates for new positions. So, which means whenever we endorse in HR, whenever we endorse candidates to our line managers, we make sure that we have a diverse set of candidates to be considered, not just on their capabilities and skills, but also different orientation, different backgrounds, even different universities or educational institutions where they're graduated. So that is something that we are doing as an organization, intentionally, to make sure that diversity starts even from the way that we recruit our colleagues. So that's the first one. The second, what we are doing also for our colleagues is that when they become part of the organization, definitely you think about what are the benefits that you can enjoy. So we are also very proud that we have even improved our benefits to be gender neutral. What does it mean? So, for example, our parental leaves are more inclusive in terms of application. We provide parental leaves regardless of birth method, whether you are a birth mother or a father or a parent, or have welcomed your child through a surrogacy or even adoption. We afford every parent the same benefits, either as a primary caregiver or a secondary caregiver. that is above and beyond what is mandated by law, and that is a practice that we are very proud that the organization is able to support for our colleagues. The third one, we have also created policies on diversity, equity, and inclusion. In fact, we are the first in Southeast Asia to do this because it affords our people the three basic gender workplace rights, such as the right to a name, the right to dress, and the right for a safe spaces. So, talking about safe space, we are also very happy that through our PFIP, and I remember it was even a question in the forum last year, if do we have a gender neutral restroom? So we are also very happy to report back in this session that because of that question, we were all inspired to create an action, affirmative action, to be able to have our own gender neutral and PWD accessible restroom in our 59-year-old office in Paranaque. So yep, so many different things that we are doing for our colleagues. So that's the first one, Mela.
These are very, very beautiful steps. You know what? Last year we had that session, and a year after, you were able to accomplish so many things, from hiring down to the benefits, down to the policies. Oh my God, Leng, that means a lot for the community because in a short span of time, you were able to accomplish um various benefits that can help lift up the dignity of every LGBTQIA plus person in the company, more so every employee that you have inside of you. So kudos to you, Mondelez Philippines, for thriving and being a venue of diversity and inclusivity. And now
Correct.
let's move forward to culture. So how do you ensure that your colleagues enjoy and be a part of this inclusive and diverse and equal culture?
Right. Actually, thank you so much, Mela. And I wouldn't say that, it's all just, coming from one group. In fact, we have our Pride Council. We just recently created our Pride Council, and it is by voluntary basis. So I remember this was the day that we launched this to our organization, and we have different colleagues representing different functions and departments, different location even. It's not just in Sukat, but we also have colleagues based out of Quezon City and even in the provinces who are part of the Pride Council, even from our factory, from our manufacturing site. And because of the Pride Council, they have been very instrumental in terms of building our culture as an organization when it comes to supporting DEI. For example, we have been celebrating the International Women's Day for many years. And in the past 2 years, we have been more active in celebrating Pride Month. We are even the first in Southeast Asia to celebrate this. Other than that, we have online learning hub specific to DEI, and even anti-bias training for all our leaders. In fact, we are even rolling out inclusive leadership for all our people managers in Mondelez. And with the Pride Council, we are very happy that its mission is to have a united Mondelez Philippines strengthened by diversity, equity, and inclusion, and that we are a diverse team that fosters a supportive environment where people are engaged, safe, connected, and heard. So as you can see, we are able to evolve also our practices, not just in our policies, but also co-creating the environment together with our Pride Council.
So happy to hear about that. Leadership really takes a great role into cultivating such kind of culture, especially in the company. And I'm so happy that you have a pride council in you, and this pride council is also a decision maker in the company that allows everyone to be heard, so that everyone can can be a stakeholder really in the growth of the company. Ang sinasabi nga nila, once you really give identities a chance to be heard, to be seen, and to be valued, there's progress. When you become progressive by nature, more people will be inspired to work harder. And I'm pretty sure you are starting to reap the fruits of your labor even as early as now. Kahit ito'y nilikha pa lang in a small amount of time, a lot of things have already been reaped, and great things are about to come. And for sure, community will benefit out of it. So let's talk about the community aspect of DEI from Mondelez's stand, Leng.
Yes, of course. I think as an organization, impact is very important to us. So we don't just create impact within our organization, but also outside the organization. What are some of these activities that we are championing in terms of DE&I? So first, we have a supplier diversity program. In fact, this is something that we're very happy that as a global organization, we have committed to helping women leaders or owners of businesses. So we have many suppliers, obviously as a large company of scale. And in the Philippines, we have a couple of business owners, female business owners, who are our suppliers, and we are providing coaching and expertise in management and supply chain operations, because we believe that when your extended teams, your partners are strong, it also helps us as an organization to become strong as well. That's the first one. The second one, this recently, just last month, in celebration of Pride, we worked together with university organization such as UP Babaylan, and together with our colleagues, we painted a rainbow crosswalk in UP Diliman, and we hope that this is a very a strong symbol of how committed we are in DEI, and that this will send us a message that it should be for everyone. So DEI is for all of us. It is all of us. It should start early, everywhere also, and even in the campus. And lastly, we have been a member of the Philippine Financial and Inter-Industry Pride for a year now. We are definitely learning a lot from this community, and we're very thankful to PFIP for all the support, the knowledge, the network that it has given to Mondelez Philippines, so that we can continue to evolve, be progressive, as what you have mentioned, Melana, as an organization, to ensure that our practices are not just aligned to how DEI should be expressed in an organization, but also inspire us, to become better as a company, to be able to live DEI, every day in our lives. So before I end, I wanted to share some of our activities this month. So please watch this video.
What a powerful, powerful video enumerating what it's like to be a part of the Mondelez family. And I say that with pride. Last year, I hosted the inauguration of Mondelez International Philippines to be a part of Philippine uh, financial inter-industry pride. And it warms my heart that a year after, so many things have changed in terms of their treatment of their colleagues, fostering a culture of diversity and inclusion at the workplace, and lastly, being involved in the community. My presence here speaks for itself because I feel like we've moved forward and we are moving slowly towards getting the goal to ensure that the Philippines will become an appreciative of an equal, respectful, and celebratory society for the LGBTQ plus community. So maraming salamat, Leng, for sharing all of your insights and initiatives um, done by Mondelez International here in the Philippines. And as mentioned, Mondelez now is part of PFIP or Philippine Financial Inter-Industry Pride. And today, we welcome two representatives from PFIP who will talk about a soon to be released initiative which will help other companies and organizations to strengthen their DEI understanding and processes. Here are Fire Sia and Earl Tan. First up is Fire Sia, the co-founder of SIB Philippines, a non-partisan organization with members who identify as bisexual, the B in the LGBTQIA plus alphabet. The group focuses on promoting by awareness in the Philippines. Fire is also a part of the BPO workforce, and he has been in LGBTQIA plus advocacy for 2 decades now, with involvement in various LGBTQIA plus organizations. Earl, on the other hand, has been working in Chevron Holdings Incorporated, and for 13 years, he's currently an HR reporting specialist. He is the Pride Employee Network Chapter Lead for Manila and is the co-lead for the Standards Pillar in the PFIP, together with Fire. He also volunteers in the Flourish program, which is Love Yourself's mental health program. Friends, let's welcome Fire Sia and Earl Tan. Magandang hapon and happy Pride, Fire and Earl.
Happy Pride.
Hi everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Pride.
It's so good to be seeing you virtually. Fire, we were just with each other last week in celebration of the Pride March. And Earl, it has been a while since I last saw you, so it feels great to be seeing you, though virtually. Now, let's talk about PFIP. Your roles in PFIP is very crucial. To those who don't know what your roles are and what PFIP stands for, can you let us know what you actively do at the PFIP? Let's begin with Fire.
Yeah, hi. So PFIP stands for the Philippine Financial and Inter-Industry Pride Organization. So for me, I work with Earl in the standards pillar. I'm one of the co-leads. And right now, my specific project is the PFIP Workplace Inclusion Playbook Project. So that's what I do over there.
So we'll be hearing about the Playbook project in a bit. Okay. How about you, Earl?
Great. So, like what Fire mentioned, so he and I are actually co-leads in the standards pillar. So, by the name standards, what we do is we develop, we research, we benchmark different standards for LGBT plus workplace inclusion. So, it's very specific. And that's the reason why we have several initiatives, one of which you will be hearing more from today. And we're really excited about it.
And seeing you both work at the PFIP, for sure, you have enjoyed being part of this organization that cultivates D&I in the corporate workforce. Earl, if I may ask you, could you share some of the achievements that PFIP has done through the years?
Right. Thanks, Mela. But before that, just talking about enjoying being in the PFIP. Like personally, I just wanted to share that although technically we are competitors. We're all competing for talent in our different organizations, but we're a cross section, right? We're all LGBT employees, and this is a place where we can just come together and build community. It's in the corporate setting, yes, but this is really where we get to know one another, we network, and we're able to actually do a little bit of mentoring and coaching, helping each other out in our career. So that's really been really, really nice. Like I have some, informal and some formal mentors that I tap from time to time. Fire is actually one of them, if I'm being honest. So thank you so much for that collaboration and that coaching and mentorship, Fire. But for achievements, because I know our time is short, what I wanted to share is one coming from our pillar as well in 2021. We actually implemented the first ever Philippine a PFIP LGBT plus workplace inclusion survey. So the survey came first. We had over 100 respondents last year, mostly PFIP member companies and mostly multinational firms. And we asked all those different things, similar to what you asked Ms. Lang earlier. What are your practices? What are your policies? What's your, benefits with regard BI and specifically LGBT plus workplace inclusion? So we have a lot of rich data, information, and insights that we were able to share broadly in around Q4 2021. And we've been able to take that and launch forward to the second project, the playbook. It's really been very informative, and it's something that will help tell a good story moving forward.
And definitely that will be beneficial to all PFIP members. I'm just really amazed on how you told me that you're enjoying PFIP as an organization, being involved in it, because you are in reality competitors. But I guess PFIP now displays the true essence and sense of unity, because you aren't competitors, but you are collaborators towards diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I must say that as you launch the Playbook project, I think this would be helpful in fostering these values that we're actually affirming in the companies. So, Fire, what is the Playbook project all about?
So the PFIP playbook for LGBT plus inclusive organizations is really a documentation of best practices and innovative mechanisms, right, undertaken by our member firms or member companies towards their journey in building more inclusive workplaces, right, in the country. Now, PFIP has long acknowledged and addressed struggles in advocacy towards increased LGBT plus workplace inclusion, and with the member companies already embracing and developing inclusive workplace practices, essentially the goal of PFIP is to help them craft more consistent policies and encourage them to continue in the right direction. That is the objective of the playbook, right? And to a broader perspective, when we look at it, the playbook will actually serve as a guide, like a how-to, right, for compliance, in anticipation of hopefully the passage of a national anti-discrimination law. That would be great, right? And in this, it would be the first of its kind in terms of organizational research on LGBT plus workplace inclusion practices and experience in the Philippine workplace. So pretty much, it's a best practice share from which all member firms will be contributing to.
This is a huge milestone, most especially for everyone who has been pioneering D&I in their companies. At least they get to share the best practices. And I'm pretty sure, even though they're new to the PFIP, with the presentation that Mondelez International has had through Leng a while ago, some of their practices can be featured or will be featured in the playbook, right, Earl?
Yes, that's correct. Actually, that's some really great sharing from earlier. I was learning a lot as well. So be proud, Mondelez employees, that you're actually leading in some of these areas that we're talking about when it comes to LGBT plus workplace inclusion. Definitely proud to be me.
Yeah, indeed, proud to be us. Now, the question is, Earl, who is this playbook project for, and how will we be able to use it?
All right. So primarily, the playbook is for the member firms, right? And right now we have around 70 or so member organizations, multinational, and then we're starting to get local companies as well. So definitely, if you are an organization that's, let's say you're starting out, you don't know where to go, who to talk to, to learn about all of this. And the playbook is a how-to guide, like what Fire mentioned. So it's really a resource or a toolkit for you. But we are also looking at, not just limiting it to the member companies. We'll look at ways as to how to be able to share it further to the wider
Well,
audience.
there's just a light bulb moment for me because I'm not part of the corporate workforce. That's number one. And I don't have a company yet. Well, I produce peanut butter, but that's just it. My question is, since Mondelez a while ago was talking about their involvement in culture and community, in the future, is it a possibility that PFIP can launch a playbook for community members or individuals like me? Fire.
Wow, that is a really great idea, actually, and something to look at, something worthwhile to explore as well. So, as we move into creating this playbook, I'm pretty sure that it's going to branch out into different things. And your recommendation, Mela, actually makes a lot of sense, since there are other industries that can actually benefit from best practices that we get from the bigger players.
More so, it can also be a yellow book, a yellow pages, 'di ba dati nung meron tayong mga uso pa yung landline, there is a yellow page kung saan we refer to and find out which companies actually practice D&I. Wouldn't be that amazing, Earl?
Absolutely. And, the team is working hard. We have a research partner in this. I'll let Fire talk about that just a little bit. But, we are on track with the project and we are planning to release this later in 2022, late 2022, rather.
And we are excited for that. Late this year, it will be released. I wonder who is creating it right now. Fire.
So we are actually partnered with very competent individuals and a very competent organization called the UP Center for Women and Gender Studies, right? So this the UPCW GS is actually a part of the University of the Philippines that is well known, right, for pushing forward into gender studies, advocating for gender rights, and a staunch supporter of LGBT plus communities as well. So they are our research partner currently. They're helping us with the groundwork. And amazingly, this project is also funded by the Dutch Embassy. So, we have a lot of support from our partners and our funders to create this amazing playbook.
Indeed, when there is collaboration, we are able to give birth to progress, and this is such a huge progress, most especially to the workforce. Maraming salamat, Fire and Earl, for bringing playbook, the power playbook for PFIP and for its members so as to foster DNI. I'll get back to you in a bit because we still have more time to discuss about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Maraming salamat sa inyong dalawa.
Thank you, too.
Thank you.
I hope our friends who are in the Zoom room right now are still enjoying our discussion about diversity, equity, and inclusion dahil hashtag proud to be me, proud to be us, and proud to be LGBTQIA plus tayo in our session. And next up is someone who is very close to my heart as she is my trans sister, my advocacist, and one of my best friends. And to continue our discussion on D&I practices and advocacies in the workplace, let's call on the managing directors of Castro PR, the organizers of our event this afternoon, Binibining Janly Dungka. Hi, Binibini.
Hi, my advocacy Smela. Happy Pride!
Happy Pride. I know Pride month ended yesterday, but really Pride continues, isn't it?
That's right. Kaya naman schedule natin ang event this July 1 to prove that Pride goes beyond June, di ba?
That is so true. Now, on a personal scale, what personal projects have you embarked in relation to Pride and DNI?
Advocacies, June is always the busiest month for us. Being advocates of the Pride movement, the LGBTQIA plus movement, we've always been involved in efforts that um, further the advocacy. So during this month, there are always SOGIESC and gender sensitivity sessions that we conduct with academic institutions, with private companies. This month particularly, I've conducted talks with IBM, with Accenture, with Ogilvy Philippines, with MDI Novare. And I've also been interviewed as a resource person for articles and social media content pertaining to Pride and LGBTQIA plus efforts. And of course, the much awaited hashtag Proud to be Me media event by Mondelez Philippines is one of the biggest projects that we have this year. And we're super excited to be doing this with you and with everyone this afternoon.
For the benefit of those who are listening to us right now, I have become a strong advocate of the LGBTQ plus community because I have Jandy by my side. The strong advocacy that I have right now and the strong sense of individuality, I owe it to this woman. That's why without her, I wouldn't be talking to this platform right now with so much passion in my heart. Now, being the managing director of Castro, leading a wonderful company that supports LGBTQIA plus individuals. How has the company advocated for pride in DNI?
Thank you for the kind words. You know how much you inspire me as well. That's what's beautiful with um, the community. We inspire each other, and that's what keeps us moving. For Castro, and by the way, Castro has been a partner, a supplier of Mondelez Philippines for 7 years now, since 2015. And that's why it's come full circle as to, it's so I'm so happy to be doing this, to be doing this yearly with Mondelez, that we're able to do Pride campaigns and projects with Mondelez, with a company that supports our community. When it comes to DEI practices that Castro PR has, we make sure that we are a safe space for our LGBTQIA plus employees. And our efforts include, number one, as mentioned also by Leng, having a gender neutral restroom. Number two, we encourage LGBTQIA plus applicants to apply whenever we have job postings. We literally put in our posters that verbatim, LGBTQIA plus applicants are highly encouraged to apply. I think it was you, Mela, when I had a conversation with you. Originally, we wanted to say LGBTQIA plus applicants will be prioritized, correct? And then one of our dearest friends who works in HR corrected me through you that that's actually positive discrimination and it
Mm-hmm.
should be changed. So we changed the phrasing to LGBTQIA plus applicants are highly encouraged to apply. And you know what? Whenever we conduct interviews with LGBTQIA plus applicants, they always mention that reading that simple phrase encouraged them to apply because we learned that as early as the application stage, a lot of LGBTQIA plus applicants are actually scared to even send their applications because they would feel or they would fear that they would be discriminated against for simply being LGBTQIA plus. So I think this is one of the things that we're really advocating for, and it's so organic to us because Castro has always been grounded on the Pride movement. And then apart from that, we always conduct conversations, talks, seminars on SOGIESC and gender sensitivity. In 2018 or 2019, I also conducted a talk in Mondelez face to face. Hopefully, we can do that again.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we do share equal company and healthcare benefits to LGBTQIA plus employees through our healthcare provider. There is an option for same-sex cohabitating partners to have equal healthcare benefits. And also make sure that we have a healthy mix of LGBTQIA plus suppliers and key opinion leaders and influencers that we work with in our PR campaigns. So these are just some of the best practices that we're proud to be doing in Castro.
Such huge milestones advocacy, and I'm really really proud of the leadership that you've done so far in leading a spectacular PR company such as Castro. A while ago you mentioned about employment. I could relate to that because years back, who would have thought that transgender people or LGBTQ plus people can be hired, more so get an interview at multinational companies at as aspirants to become brand managers or to become leaders in the company. But right now, more and more chances are given to them because of the pride advocacy that we are doing. And you at Castro, you have been spearheading it so well. Besides, Castro is named after the popular LGBTQIA plus safe space in San Francisco, right?
Correct, correct. We are inspired by that, and we claim that identity because we acknowledge that there is power in claiming our identity as an LGBTQIA plus owned and led organization.
And that being said, you are a trans woman, madam. Right? We call you Madam Jan Lee when we see each other. But right now, being the leader of this organization, have you experienced challenges pertaining to your being trans?
You know, I recall a particular instance when Castro was just starting, probably during the first 3 years of Castro. We were, of course, we were younger, we didn't know better. And we learned that one of the clients that we worked with, I'm not going to name anymore. They weren't actually, one of them wasn't comfortable working with trans women, particularly. Um, so it was disheartening to find out about that because whenever we would see this person, she would be nice to us, but then behind the facade, we learned that it's actually not the case. So that was after that our relationship went on a downturn, not just on a personal level but on a professional level. They started working with other suppliers, and at first we were disheartened. We feared that it might happen again with other clients that we had, but and it actually kind of prevented us from claiming our LGBTQIA plus identity core as Castro PR. Then as we were learning, particularly me, as I was learning more about the advocacy, I realized that it's more important to be true to your core, to your identity, to be unapologetically true to who you are. And I used that power and claimed that it's not just the clients who can choose their suppliers, but it can also be the other way around. You know, we can also choose clients we work with because, and I know I might be speaking from a place of privilege, and I apologize for that, but um, we're not going to work with suppliers who we know are against the LGBTQ. I mean, we're not going to work with clients and suppliers alike who we know are against the community because that's not aligned with our values.
And I guess as LGBTQIA plus advocates, as movers of DNI, it's very important that we ground ourselves and we affiliate ourselves with those who combat with us, those who hold our hands in the battlefield, because these are crucial so that we can amplify our causes even more. And even though that company no longer works with you, look at Mondelez. I think Mondelez has allowed you to flourish to become the best PR organization that you are today. Am I correct, Miss Janly?
That's right. And we couldn't be any more thankful and grateful to Mondelez because we also are learning a lot from Mondelez's best practices.
And that being said, how do you now work with clients who want to further their D&I stance, their thrust in being able to forward D&I?
We actually try and connect our clients to organizations such as PFIP. Castro was actually the one who connected Mondelez Philippines to PFIP. I know you remember our event last year when we launched the partnership between Mondelez Philippines and PFIP. So we also do the same for our other clients in hopes that they will also be part of the organization and um, fight for LGBTQ plus and DEI in the workplace. And also, we also offer conducting SOGIESC and gender sensitivity sessions. As mentioned, I conducted one in Mondelez Philippines in the past, and we also offer that in our other clients. So far, those are what we've been doing um, to further the fight for the cause.
Bridging
Bridging.
companies towards
Mhm.
diversity, equity, and inclusion. What a beautiful thrust advocacy. Advocacies. Thank
Advocacy.
you yes, advocacy. Thank you so much for reiterating that. Now, you have some advice for those who are still struggling in overcoming prejudice at the workplace.
I think it's so important for us to find our voice, to be able um, to be able to fight for our rights. Oftentimes, we would often feel scared of um, of pushing forward the advocacy that we have. But then I believe, and this is something that I've learned from meeting advocates whenever we have gatherings, that there is a potential ally in every person that we meet, and sometimes we just need to tap into that potential ally. And whenever we get challenging remarks, challenging stances, we try to fight and push back. And by fighting, we don't mean fighting fire with fire, but being proper about it, educating people with facts and knowledge that we are equipped with, so that they may learn from us. Because I really believe that we can all learn from each other.
Definitely. And I'm still learning from you. Even though we
Likewise.
see each other more often than not, we are constantly learning from each other, and we're constantly learning from the people that we meet. And to you who's listening right now, maybe you are a potential ally, and maybe you're looking for allies like us, because not only are heterosexual people considered as allies, but LGBTQIA plus can be allies of the heterosexual people, and at the same time of every letter of the LGBTQIA plus alphabet. So thank you so much, Advocacist Janly, for the insightful conversation that we had so far. But I think it's about time for us to take a break. Let's have some fun through a game. And everyone in the Zoom call right now, you are all invited to join. And I hope you're ready, because there are prizes at stake. So let's play Pride Jumble. And we are welcoming back on screen Leng, Fire, and Earl. We have been discussing DE and I am proud to have learned so much from all of you, from the best practices of Mondelez, Castro, to the upcoming launch of the playbook set by PFIP. Now, for our audience this afternoon, let's play a game. This is Pride Jumble. What we will do is we will be flashing letters on the screens, and all you have to do is type the word formed on the Zoom chat. Words vary in difficulty, by the way, but do not worry, because for each round, we will have a statement that will help you figure the word out. So, the first person to figure out the mystery word will win that particular jumbled word. And our back end team will be able to monitor the first to give the correct answer. There are 10 jumbled words, so meaning there are 10 prizes at stake. 10 winners who will be going home with special prizes. Now, please do consider this rule. You only type your answers as soon as I say go. We will honor the first person to type in the correct answer after I say go. I hope my instructions are clear and I hope you're all ready because this is our Pride Jumbled first word. There you go. This is our first word. This is the practice or quality of including or involving people from a range of different social and ethnic backgrounds and of different genders and sexual orientation. So I'm pretty sure as you were listening, I have been reiterating this word over and over again. And I am excited for the first person. Go! Anyone? Anyone? I'm pretty sure there is a winner right now because the first word is so easy to type in. And the correct answer is diversity. Congratulations to our first winner. Our backend team will be messaging you in a bit. Now, let's go to our next word. This is jumbled word number 2. Ano kaya ito? Well, this is the fair treatment, gender representation, and equal access to opportunities. It has QYEUIT. Go! Ayan, feeling ko meron nang nakatype in ng correct word because it is... Sige nga, Leng, what do you think is this word?
Yep, equity.
Equity! You are correct, Leng. This is equity. Ayan. A while ago, you have enumerated so many aspects of equity that are happening inside Mondelez. And for sure, you will be forwarding more equitable policies in the future. And on to our next word. This is word number 3. Word number 3. There you go. The clue. Here's the clue. A step to achieve this word is by making colleagues feel respected and appreciated in the workplace. A step to achieve this word is by making colleagues feel respected and appreciated in the workplace. Go! So as we are waiting for our winner, the first word is won by Lei King. Lei King, congratulations. You are the winner for diversity. And for the next word, the equity, Den Oy, congratulations. And now, what do you think is this word, Fire?
Inclusivity.
Inclusivity is correct. So, congratulations to our winner. Congratulations to Alessandra. Alessandra, congratulations. Our backend team shall be messaging you. Next up, word number 4. Word number 4, this is the clue. Well, this is a type of workplace in which one is prioritized because of the needs and the unique support systems of employees who are differently abled. Again, this is a type of workplace in which prioritizing the needs and unique support systems of employees who are differently abled is given attention, proper attention. Ano kayang uri ng workplace ito? Go! Ayan. Earl, what do you think is this word?
Is it accessible?
Accessible? I'm giving you one more chance. Do you think it's accessible?
Final answer, accessible.
Final answer. And the correct answer is accessible. Yes, an accessible workplace is the one that prioritizes needs and unique support systems of employees who who are differently abled. So, congratulations, Ai! Ai, you are our winner. This is jumbled word number 5. Oh, WMEPROE. And this is an app to enable a person to become stronger, more confident, especially in controlling their lives and claiming their rights. Go! Ayan. For me, this is one description that I will always hold on to dearly, so, so dearly, because it drives my pride as a trans woman. Miss Janly, what do you think is this word?
I think the word is empower.
Empower. Tignan nga natin. The correct answer is Empower! Congratulations to our winner, Marielle of Tap PH. Congratulations, Marielle. So, 5 words down. We have 5 more to go. Okay? So, sa mga hindi pa nananalo, you still have more chances of winning with our next set of words. And these words are related to gender identity and expression. I repeat, the next set of 5 words are related to gender identity and expression. This is jumbled word number 6. Oh, ano kaya ito? Ano kaya ito? 'Di ba? They are people who have romantic, emotional, and or sexual attraction to other people regardless of their gender. Again, regardless of their gender, these people will have romantic, emotional, or sexual attraction too. So, anyone? Go! Ayan. And I think it is but proper to have this guest by Miss Janly. What do you think is this identity?
As someone who identifies as one, I definitely know this word. So, as a proud pansexual, so the correct word is pansexual.
Pansexual. Is it correct? Yes, it is. Congratulations. And pansexual people's identity are valid. And I'm so proud of you, Advocacies Jan Lee.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Next word is... Sorry, pasensya na. Congratulations to Tessa Ariola. Tessa Ariola, you are our winner. Now, on to our next word, please. On to our next jumbled word, and here it is. Ayan. Ganun talaga pag live show, talagang lahat, ang energy natin ay nasusustain. Right, Leng?
Correct.
Oh, sayang lang hindi tayo pwedeng sumali. Tama?
Oo nga eh.
Oh.
Excited pa naman akong ano, dun sa prizes.
Ano ba ang
True.
exciting prizes
Ano ba
natin? Baka alam
yan?
mo.
Hindi ko nga alam, surprise!
Pwede bang
Naku,
as the host, makuha ko yung prizes nilang lahat? 10 pala yung gusto.
Ay. Not just one, but all.
Not just one, but all. Well, we can have it all. Right,
oh,
Earl?
Yes, of course. We can have it all, no?
We can have it all. So, as we are waiting
Yeah.
for our jumbled words, I'm so happy to be in this forum with all of you because you are all movers of equality. You, Leng, as an ally of the community, why is it important for you to foster this kind of allyship to all of us?
Okay, all right. I think because any organization will not succeed if, people aren't taken care of and people aren't at their best. And you can only be at your best if you can truly express yourself at work for who you really are, that you can bring your most authentic self In any relationship that you deal with, whether even at home or in the communities, with your partners, with any of our family members. And that's also the same spirit that we espouse in the organization, that people can be their most authentic selves, 'di ba? Masarap yung you don't have to pretend to be someone who you are not, because one way or another your true self will come. So it's always better to start off first with being comfortable with who you are, and be your most authentic self.
And with that allyship, Leng, you are valued so much. Thank you so much. You deserve the crown this
All right.
afternoon. Oo, sayang hindi ko maabot yung corona ko
Nga,
here, pero
crown.
pwede kong pwede kong ibigay sa iyo ito.
Let's share the
Ayan, the
crown.
crown is
Yan.
yours.
Oo, 'di
Oh,
ba? That's why my nickname is Leng. I was named after Binibining Pilipinas,
Pilipinas,
ano.
Eileen Leng Damiles,
Oh,
am I correct?
correct!
Okay.
Oh,
Sabi
'di
ko na.
ba?
Sabi ko, Eileen Leng. Familiar to,
Yes.
Eileen Leng Damiles.
Yeah.
She's
Good.
Binibining Pilipinas Universe 1996.
Yan,
If
that's where I
I'm
got
correct.
my nickname. Correct.
Ayun naman pala. We have a beauty queen, 'di ba? And
Correct.
Mondelez. Now, I think excited ang ating mga participants in the Zoom room. So here's our next jumbled word. I think talagang yung ating mga game organizers right now, ginajumble pa nila at hinihirapan nila yung mga words natin this afternoon. Right, Miss Janly?
Correct. Para mas ma-challenge daw yung guests. Kasi parang madali nilang nahuhulaan yung mga words.
Oo nga eh. Dapat mas mahirap pa daw.
Pero
Para
alam
ano,
niyo, maganda yon yung
bigger
madali nilang
prizes.
nahuhulaan. Di ba pag madaling nahuhulaan ngayon, ibig sabihin, meron na silang sense of awareness. And that's what we
Mm,
want right now.
that's
For
true.
for people to be aware of these identities, more so these values that we must foster in the society, 'di ba? So fire, 'di ba? Looking into this partnership of PFIP, Castro, and Mondelez, what's your vision for PFIP?
Well, I would love for PFIP to grow as an organization and to have more local based companies join. Actually, we have a lot of multinational, international companies who are part of PFIP, but having a stronger local presence will definitely, move a lot of these DEI objectives forward into the workplace. And the workplace is not just a workplace for what can I say? Some people who are of privilege, but a workplace is a workplace for all, regardless of who you are. You deserve to be comfortable, you deserve to be valued, and to be treated right in your workplace.
A workplace for
For all.
all. I love that. Kasi nga, syempre, di ba, kaya nga siya sa Tagalog, hanap buhay. At sa bawat hanap buhay, may buhay kang nababago, may buhay kang napapalalim, at may buhay kang napapalago. When you make a living, when you give livelihood, you actually give birth to lives. That's why being a safe space at the workforce, having a safe space at the workforce, rather, will always entail I am living because my workplace allows me to live. And that being said, let's now proceed to our next jumbled word. Ayan, to our audience right now, alam ko na meron pa tayong apat, four prizes at stake. So we had equity, we had diversity a while ago, and this is our word right now. Number 7. Ay nako, makaka-relate kami dito. Ako, si Miss Janly, at si Sir Fire in this next word. Because this word pertains to individuals like me whose sex assigned at birth isn't aligned with our identity. Go! Go, go, go! Ayan. And I think ready ng tayong malaman kung sinong next winner because Fire, what's the correct answer?
The correct answer, I first read it as gardener. No, I'm kidding. The correct answer is transgender.
Yes. Well, we are gardeners because we cultivate education among other people that there is a diverse world out there. Tama? And we give life, 'di ba, to plants
Yes.
and make them beautiful, 'di ba? Kaya naman congratulations to our ally, Ariana Angelina. Ang ganda ng pangalan niya, Ariana Angelina. Nakaka-superhero, nakaka-Hollywood superstar Ariana Angelina. Thank you so much. Now, here's our next jumbled word. Next jumbled word, please. And this is said to be the birthplace of pride. Outside this gay bar in New York City, a series of violent confrontations began here in the early hours of June 28, 1969, between the police and gay rights activists. Ano kaya ito? Go! Ayan. This is crucial for LGBTQ plus movement because dito talaga nagsimula ang pride. Tama, Earl?
Tama.
So, Earl, ano kaya ito?
Alright. Para ng iba, this is Stonewall.
Stonewall! Congratulations! So, that's the bar in New York City. And I happen to have visited it at have visited in 2019. And when I saw it, sabi ko, ang historic nitong moment na to. And I'm just really grateful to the LGBTQ plus people out there who stood by LGBTQIA plus rights. And you are our winner from Business World. Martin, maraming salamat for joining us. Thank you, thank you. Now we still have two more words left. Ayan. And this is our next jumbled word. And this means sexual orientation, gender identity, expression, and sex characteristics. All you have to do is form the acronym. Go! Diba? We have been talking about this, and this is the root of our advocacy so that we can all be included. And I'm pretty sure Leng is an expert of this concept. Okay? Leng, ano kaya ito?
Ah, of course, nothing else but Soji.
So,
C.
GSC, yes, correct. And you are our winner, Roel Huang. Ayan, maraming salamat, Roel Huang. You are the winner for SoGS. And Martin of Business World, again, reiterating, you are our winner for Stonewall. And eto na, I'm sorry. Alam ko sa mga competitive out there, this is our last word. Okay? Pwede pang humabol. And this word means a statement or action expressing disapproval or objection to something. And they say, pride is not just a party, it is a blank. 'Di ba? Ang ganda nung jumbled word, TP store. 'Di ba? TP store. Ano kaya ito? Go! Go, go, go! Ayan. And Miss Janly, as we always say, pride is a
Protest.
protest. Pride is a protest, definitely. So, ayan. Who is our winner? Angelo Dionara. Angelo Dionara, congratulations. You are our winner for this afternoon. And to all those who have participated, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that simple game, a game that will always remind us why we are doing this, why we are standing our ground, and why we are fighting for diversity, inclusivity, equity, not just in the workplace, but all around the world. In the Philippines, I do hope and pray that we continue to champion DE&I so that our national government, our policymakers can hear how much we want SOGI Equality Bill to be passed, most especially now more than ever. More so, may it lead to discussions to more bills that can protect LGBTQIA plus people. And that being said, if there are any questions from the media right now, we are ready to accommodate them. I know that you have been spending this beautiful afternoon with us. So if you have questions along the way, feel free to type it out. But ito for Fire and Earl, being in the workforce, how much has it changed with the birth of PFIP, with us fostering DEI? Are we on the right track, Earl?
Actually, if you don't mind, Mela, I want to hear from Fire. There's a great question for somebody like him who's like in his intro, right? Been doing this for quite a while. So take a stab, Fire. Let us know what you would like to
Yeah,
share.
that's a, thank you. That's really a great question. I came from a time where I couldn't apply to work if I wore pants and a coat and tie. I couldn't do that. The first time I applied for a job, my resume was returned to me, and there was a notation on the top that said lesbian. Right. And then I was told that, we only hire females, and then you're not a girl. At that time, I was a little insulted because I was identifying as cisgender female. So, and I never thought that we would ever have anything like this happening. Anything like PFIP, organizations that actually support workplace inclusion for LGBT persons. So this was not even part of what I thought could be accomplished before. And just taking it back to how we have built LGBT plus visibility in the past years. The first Pride marches, we would be very happy if we had 500 marchers, right? And we would have 500 marchers or up to 700 people marching, and no corporate support of any kind, no sponsorship of any kind. We sponsored each other. That's how it used to work. So now it's really so great to see that there are companies who not only provide support during Pride Month, but provide support to their employees all year round, right? To their LGBT plus employees, and continuously exploring better ways on how they can incorporate diversity, equity, inclusion into their HR practices, their benefits, and their general environment, right, in the workplace. So it has changed so much in the past 20 years, and I am so proud of what our community has done to achieve these changes. Of course, there is so much more to be done, but you know what, a lot has been done already, and I think that there's no way to go but up.
And we acknowledge you. We acknowledge you, Fire, together with those who have marched in the past. Maliit man yung bilang ng mga marchers natin before. Without you, we wouldn't be in this point of marching in which all of us are now becoming more proud of who we are. And with you starting, I think that's very crucial into this discussion. May nagsimula. At dahil may nagsimula, may nagpatuloy. Thank you so much for passing the torch to us so that the torch can be passed to the next generation. And that being said, how about you, Earl? Looking forward, moving forward into PFIP, what is your vision for this organization?
Right. So there's a term that we now say during our meetings, our discussions. It's the term LGBT plus excellence, right? So we all strive to be our best selves. It can look like different for each one. But definitely from a workplace perspective, it's developing our careers, it's reaching our goals, it's being, let's say at the 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 managing director level, having that seat in the table and really being the decision makers that help shape our workplaces. That's really the goal, so we can safeguard the workplace moving forward. We need to have a seat in the table. So I think my vision is aligned with that. I want to help my fellow LGBT siblings to be able to thrive and develop their careers. The PFIP is here for you. Yeah, and we are together in the journey. Because of that, Mela, okay lang bang mag-plug? We do have
Of course.
our next event upcoming No, and if you're following the PFIP on social media, it's already out in our stories. Our next event is the fourth PFIP Pride Summit. It's going to be on August 5 in Okada, Manila, and our theme is weaving synergies in the Philippine LGBT plus ecosystem. So, meaning to say, we recognize that there are different key players in the advocacy. So, in this forum, if you join, then you get to see these different key players, business, government, NGOs, or grassroots communities, etc., the education sector, etc., coming together and discussing all of these important topics. So see you there.
And
Thank you.
definitely, we will be there on August 5 to join you in this wonderful endeavor of PFIP. Advocacy's Johnny, we have a question from our friend from Mirror, Dina Vasquez. And she talks about microaggressions from our family members, those who tell us, alam mo, sayang ka. What do you want to say to, how do you address such microaggression? And I think you can answer the question by filling in this word, this statement rather. Hindi ako sayang dahil.
Hindi ako sayang dahil ang value ko ay hindi dependent sa pagtingin mo sa akin, 'di ba? Dahil lagi natin yang naririnig, very common yung mga backhanded compliments at mga helpful tips kunwari from people, especially here in the Philippines. But we need to correct them if we know that these are microaggressions because more often than not, they do not intend to hurt. Sometimes, actually, mas madalas hindi naman malicious yung intention, but they just don't know better. Therefore, we need to equip ourselves with the knowledge so that we can correct and educate them. Diba? We don't need to fire aggression or microaggression with aggression. Kasi kung ganun, it's just a cycle of aggression and walang mangyayari. Therefore, we need to be able to impart our knowledge and tell them appropriately and in the right way that our value is not based on what they think of us. Diba? Pantay-pantay tayo.
At yun yung magiging dahilan kung bakit mas lalo pa tayong magiging hashtag proud to be me. At yun ang magpapatunay kung bakit hindi tayo sayang. Thank you so much for that reminder, Miss Janly. And I hope Miss Dina from Business Mirror, Janly was able to answer your question. And finally, to our dearest friend and ally, Leng, Mondelez International has produced snacks for children. I myself have enjoyed your snacks even as a kid, from Oreo to Tang. Teenager na ako nung nakatikim ako ng Tiger. But the snacks that you've made are comforting. What if one day a child actually goes to you and um, they ask, how can I be proud of myself when I'm being bullied? How would you inspire this child to be proud of himself, herself, themselves? And this is actually a question from Marielle of Tap PH.
Mm-mm. Right. Okay. Well, I think that the parents really play a very important role, no, for kids to have that confidence, to be real, to be, who they are. It's very important for all of us, not just for parents but also educators. The school also plays a very important role to play in advocating, not just respecting kids as part of LGBTQ plus no community, but also for who they are as an individuals. I think ultimately it's all about our basic human right, to be able to express ourselves for who we are, but also at the same time, to give that give that confidence for people that, if somebody is bullying you or not treating you well, that you ask for help, and not just sulk in everything by yourself. So if, let's say, kids are able to see that parents, adults, educators, the people around them are championing, not bullying, regardless of the like labels or how you would like to put it. It's all about respecting your basic human rights. So very important that we keep ourselves, open minded, and be progressive in terms of how do we create this kind of environment for everyone.
And kids do learn from adults.
Right.
Di ba? We are the first people to teach them values that we believe in right now. And if the adults are actually championing DNI, then definitely a kid who is bullied will know how to stand for himself, herself, and themselves because they know that they are grounded on love. Thank you so much for reminding us that. I know that we still have two more questions, and these are interesting questions to throw at. I hope you can still um, uh, lend us some more of your time, Leng, because this is crucial for Mondelez. Because government agencies are practicing and including gender and development in organizations right now. You, as Mondelez International, how can you continue this advocacy in supporting LGBTQIA plus?
Okay. One, very important also for us as an organization to be humble enough to learn, from many different organizations who are ahead of the curve or ahead of the practice in terms of being an ally, creating policies, inclusive, policies around LGBTQ plus, communities. So for us, our active participation, being able to reach out to different organizations, to PFIP, for example, is already a testament of how, as an organization, we continue to become an advocate in LGBTQ plus. Secondly, I mean, what it's one way to network, and it's another thing to be able to live the practice. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not able to live the practice, if your own or our own employees are not actively talking about it, not being proud in sharing it, then probably we have not done our part truly in living um what being an inclusive, diverse and equitable organization that we are. So equally important that our own employees are ambassadors, being advocates also of our organization. And honestly, even before I joined Mondelez, I was with Unilever for a long time. IBM has been one of the organizations we really admire on how they're able to build, employee groups. Back in 2018, that's actually what we were looking up as an organization, that where we would like to be, and then bringing also the same aspiration to us, in Mondelez, and continue to seeking the best practices, in different organizations, so that we can, evolve ourselves as an organization and show that, we are committed to this, as an advocacy.
I love how you highlighted we have to live the practice because we can do all sessions, also G sessions all day, all
Mhm.
year round. Pero hanggat hindi mo siya na isa sa buhay, if it's not translated into a lifestyle at the workplace, more importantly at home, then there's no value to it. That's why the greatest challenge is after this, a year from now, how will Mondelez, how will you who's listening right now, how will the speakers here and the organizers evolve into becoming more sensitive and into becoming more advocates and fighters of DENI? Maraming salamat, Leng, for answering the question of our friend Girly Havero from Lifestyle Plus PH. And finally, to any one of you, Fire and Earl, here's a question from Martin Celis of Business World. How do SOGI policies help shape the Playbook project?
The Playbook project is really a huge collaboration, right, between companies that practice DEI the D&I policies, incorporated in their in work environments, in their HR, all that. It's really that huge collaboration, and it's basically putting together those best practices that are relevant and meaningful, right, to the LGBT plus communities in the workplace. So I think that it's very important that we center on those SOGI related policies for this particular playbook, because essentially it is the LGBT plus community in the workplace that we are targeting to help. And at the same time, the playbook is really there to help local and smaller organizations learn from the mature organizations, right? Who have fully established, right, their DEI practices, as as we all leverage on the influence of these mature organizations across different industries, right, to really assist the rest of the workplace community in incorporating DEI. So it's really a very broad coverage that we're trying to reach here, and at the same time also very focused, right? So it's not something that we can pull out of just different practices and putting them together. It's really something that we have to pull in, research, evaluate. Are they relevant? Are they meaningful? Are they beneficial to the LGBT plus communities who are in the workplace? So Earl, you might have something to add as well.
I think you said it well, Fire. But in specifically the question, you're right that the data gathering, data collection that we're doing now is really very extensive. We have key informant interviews from each member company, as well as focus group discussions from the lived experience of employees for member firms. So it's qualitative data, so it's a lot to go through, and it'll be like thematized and codified. So it's not just the one thing like Soji policy. It's really broad. So that's why it's a lot of information that we'll be able to analyze. Um, yeah, we'll really sit down on this to be able to identify. Okay, this is best practice, but oh, what if this is the situation? Oh, but if the size of the organization is different. So we still have a long way to go, but definitely yeah, abangan nyo na lang kasi we are confident that we'll be able to give a playbook talaga siya or a how-to guide for everybody, and definitely looking at local companies, no? Kasi we want the Filipinos to be the one to benefit from this, di ba? So tulong-tulong lang talaga tayo. We're here to lift each other up.
And certainly, I know that we will reap the fruits of your labor dahil nga nagsasama-sama at nagtutulong-tulong tayo. Because when we work together, as I've mentioned a while ago, it leads to progress and we become more progressive along the way. And what a beautiful oxymoron that the playbook possesses right now. It's broad but focused. It's varied, but at the same time will lead specifics so that they can move forward D, E, and I. Maraming salamat, Leng, Janly, Fire, and Earl for being with us this afternoon. And to all our friends from the media, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that this discussion that we have had has enriched you through through ways that we can move forward professionally, personally, and being advocates and pillars of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And may we all endeavor and move towards fighting injustice and supporting DEI wherever it leads us. In my case, I am proud to be me because number one, I see a transgender woman who leads a company, who is the leader in her own right, and who has made an impact in the society by saying, I'm trans and I can become a leader who can support um, my colleagues to becoming their best selves. I am proud to be me because there's PFIP who can be a leverage and be a bridge for companies to grow more, be more, and fight with the LGBTQIA plus community. And I am proud to be me because I have Mondelez International who has grown after a year in their discussion of DEI and assuring that their colleagues are well treated, that the culture in their company will really speak and practice DEI and will also involve the community, even a woman like me, to be joining forces with them in making a diverse and inclusive society. I am proud to be me because I have media people like you who has joined us and who will continue to report and share inspiring stories so that more people can support this cause. I am proud to be me because I have served as your host this afternoon. Maraming salamat po sa ating lahat, and may we continue to be inspired and live pride every day, every month, every year. Ako po si Miss Mela Habijan, and this has been hashtag proud to be me. But before you go, we'd like to invite you to watch this Oreo Pride film that will remind us all that love is love. Maraming salamat at magandang hapon.
我们都是一家人。你们绕过半个地球来着，就是想给我们更好的生活。可是我是，可是我爱你。
爱
爱，我爱你。
I think you're ready.
妈妈，你累了吗？还好，还好。
你呢？你 ready 了吗？